Can't top that. All right, I'm going to keep recording now, so that we can just talk. So I'm going to give you one at a time. I'll start with my brother Ken, next youngest, or next
Okay.
above me in age. If you could just deliver a message, just look into the camera and talk to Ken, because I'm going to edit this and cut it out and I'm going to send it to him. So just tell Ken whatever you'd like to tell him right now.
Wow, like everybody in the family, Ken, I just love you so much. You're a model for us of success. My goodness, you've done something that all of us would have loved to do, and that make a career out of the world of entertainment.
Hmm.
And not only made a career, but a really successful one. Steve and I talked last night about the fact that we often play our favorite CD you made, and that's the one, "Farewell to Callahan's," and that's just a great story. Ken, I'm so happy and proud of you for making the move to Hawaii, which turned out uh, to be really blessed. The way things developed here in California and the way they have developed for you out there, we're amazed at what you've been able to accomplish and how you're so happy doing it. Uh, of course, we've had an opportunity to share uh, free enterprise at a very deep level in the classes, and I think that message has stuck with both of us as to the value of being free in a society and not being encumbered by government, which tends to do way too much. Um, so hats off to you for being that model and making it work wherever you are. Uh, Ken, as you know, there's uh, another step in, I pray, in your life, but it's certainly your decision, not mine. And uh, I just love you, Ken, from the bottom of my heart, and always will. And as I go on to join Mom, I know that'll be in my heart.
Let's talk about my sister Ginny.
Jenny is a strength. Jenny is a major strength. Uh, we're going to start with now. Uh, Jenny is the really effectively the director of the La Habra Life Institute, devoted to helping young women get out of an abortion mode and into having and raising the baby. And Jenny, you're just setting the world on fire. And every single day, I pray gratitude to the Lord that He's using you so hugely for His work. You're right in the middle of it. You've been a believer since late in the 1990s, that day when you accepted the Lord in Calvary Chapel in Costa Mesa. I remember it well, and since then you've been a trail of that, and we've loved a lot of life together, Jenny. When when we were kids, there was a lot of times I admit I was putting before your time, Ed. I used to put things like railroad train tracks together and models of engines
Hmm.
in the hope that Ken and Steve would come in from playing baseball and play with me with the little gadgets. And they virtually never did. And Ginny always did. And so Ginny and I grew up working on these models together and so forth. And even we had a Morgan uh, race car at one time, and uh, and the boys were even too busy to do much with that. And Jenny always hopped in. We'd go for a little ride in the Morgan. So
Hmm.
Jenny, uh, to my joy, we've been close in different ways over so many years. And then along came Jesse and Celine. Wow, what kids! I I'm not going to go on and on about them, but I sure could,
Yeah.
because you asked me to stick to the kids. But here's Jesse, very successful attorney, having married a very successful and wonderful attorney, Linda, and Celine, who's got to be right there with the best moms that ever graced the globe. And what a job you did, while at the same time getting a degree on your own, uh, doing it all yourself at USC, and growing in the ranks as a banker to a vice president in the days when that meant something, and on and on and on. Jenny, you're a treasure, and a model of achievement and strength. I think we would all put strength there first. Uh, some of them would even say you go a little too far on that once in a while, and I don't know. I'm prejudiced, but uh, whatever whatever is the case, Jenny, I just love you from the bottom of my heart.
Let's go to Ginny's sister and our sister Sandy.
Sandy, God dealt you a hand that was hard to play many times over the years. And yet, during all of that, it was very clear that you had some special talents. I think in the joy area, I go back to the time that I had the pleasure of being your dad and with you the first time you went up in an airplane, and you sat by the window, and it must have been 5 minutes before you got the courage up to look out the window, and you did, and the nervous face turned to a smile, and then on that trip, and you were just a little girl, we went to Lake Tahoe, and had a lot of fun. You had a lot of fun up there. Uh, I had less fun because we went swimming in Lake Tahoe, and as a kid, you didn't know it was ice cold,
Hmm.
and as not a kid, I knew it was ice cold, and yet as a dad, it was my job to stay in there with you, and everybody marveled over your swimming, and even on the trip south, we stopped at a motel on one night on the way home, and the same thing happened. You were swimming laps in the pool
Hmm.
there, and all the people around were saying, "Wow, that little girl is just a beautiful swimmer," and that's remarkable because I'm not, and you didn't learn it from me. You probably learned it from mom, who was a good swimmer, and yeah, and okay, then Sandy, over the years, you did have to battle um, with old man addiction, and the joy of the story is you've won the battle, and these days, I talk to you while you're at the home in Wairika, and I just have never heard you clearer or happier. Uh, I look, Sandy, at your mural on the wall behind Mom's gravesite in her rose garden uh, every single day. It's a beautiful mural. You have a gift for art that is really outstanding. You also have it for music, and you have it like like your siblings. You have I think, an even greater gift for harmony. Um, and it's joyful for me to hear that now you and one of your friends there at the home enjoy each other, and that she's good in humanity, and that you do it, and that you're part of a group too,
Hmm.
a singing group there. And wow, just lately we've enjoyed, just like we did, I think it was yesterday. So, such a long, no, day before yesterday. Uh, Beautiful conversation with you, a happy you, and Sandy, it just makes my heart so warm to know that's the case, and you've made my life, our life, your life so much better, and your love of the Lord, I hope that causes seeds to drop all over the place
Hmm.
in the Wairika home. I think I know you're capable of dropping those seeds. And oh, just do it. Just do it, honey. Boy, that if we could all do that, wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Uh, I just love you, Sandy, from the bottom of my heart.
Your firstborn, Steve.
Well, Steve, you've had uh, the I guess the I view it as the honor of being the one God used to bring this old man to Christ, and I will never ever forget that as long as I live. But going back over the years, you were our firstborn, and I'll never forget how joyful Mom was when we went to St. Luke's and she just danced around the aisles after you were born, and I saw the happiness in her face and my face, and you came home and joined up with us. You had to ride with us wherever we went. As a baby, we had a Plymouth convertible, and there was uh, not a back seat in it, but there was a space behind the seats where the top would go in when it was down. So when the top was up, we could put you in that space and and take you with us, which you did always. And then there was baseball, and then so I thought, well, here's my chance to be with the kid. He's finally made it to Little League, and he's going to be on the minor league Orioles team, and I'm going to sign up, and I'm going to be their manager, so I can be with you. And I did, and I was their manager, and like life tends to do, it threw a crooked card at me because after seeing you play in a game, you were promoted to the majors, and I stayed in the minors, where it stayed the rest of our career. You played for the Cubs in the majors, and well, and I played in as manager in the minors poorly. That was another of my infamous teams where I don't think we ever won a game. I and but we made some great friends of great kids, and usually I could go to your games because they were different days. Well, then I watched you go on into high school baseball once again, and in football. Uh, I remember one night I got over enthusiastic in Brea, watching you do something pretty special on the field. You caught a pass and dodged a number of players, and well, you didn't quite score. You darn near did, and I went out of it with joy. And this did not please the Brea fans, and and one guy and I just almost got at it over my enthusiasm and his lack of it at that particular point. But in baseball at Troy, I think it was their first team. You were very good, and a scout picked you up, and you got a card inviting you to try out uh, for the Cubs, and you gave me the card so I could show it to guys at Beckman and brag, and I did. Showed it to him and bragged, and in that process, I lost the card. And you you've never blamed me because you said maybe you were good in high school, but you didn't feel at the major league baseball playing level. And I think that's probably true of all of us. We all played baseball reasonably well compared to our peers. Uh, but as a first baseman, I know I for one was never going to be a Gil Hodges. And Steve, as a shortstop, uh, I I don't think you would be a Pee Wee Reese, but you were very good. And I'm supposed to be telling you, well,
That's all right.
Steve, we become incredible friends, and a highlight of my week every week as an old guy is the couple hours. It turns out we set aside every Sunday night to catch up on your family up there and our families down here. And once in a while, Ed joins in on that talk too, don't you, Ed?
I love it.
And and you are now able to enjoy life with Chris, and boy, I tell you, enjoy it to the fullest. I just look back on the memories with Mom with such joy and affection, and sometimes tears of joy, and do it. I can't tell you how much I love you, Steve.
All right. Now, selfishly, I get to hear you talk to me, and I'm going to just kind of tune out so I can listen to it later.
Okay, well, Ed, uh, you're a special joy in the family. And I think, if I remember right, you earlier made reference to a funny part, and that is, well, Mom and I did certain amount of family planning along the line. You're not a part of that. You you came along after we both thought we were going to be playing and traveling and doing some working and maybe even writing a book and so forth. Well, you changed all that, and you came and I remember telling Mom, look, you've done something that, in my opinion, was hundreds, scads of times harder than I did. Every day you stayed home and raised those kids, and that is a job. That is a real job. And I had a little job. I went off to work every day. And when I came home, you were always dressed up, fit to kill, and the kids were there waiting for me to hand them a stick of gum or something. And you just did an amazing job. Well, I said, it's my turn because now I'm at a stage in my work life where I don't have to put in 50 hours a week. I had a very capable staff, and I would be able to spend lots and lots of time with our new kid, which we named Ed. my my buddy Ed Bell always took credit for the name, which I never told him, but that was not our reason. We liked the name, and we liked the second name too, and, which happens to be Jack. And by the way, Jack comes into the family through Grandma, not any other way. She just said that Ivan is too complicated because we already have an Ivan. We're going to call him Jack. Grandma Stevens had clout. So that's how you and I both got the name Jack.
I love my middle
So,
name.
yep. So, and that's just been a total joy. I've undoubtedly had more time to spend with you one on one than with any of our kids, and still do. And it's a relationship which is so special to me that I can't tell you enough the love that goes into it. Just incredible. We're still golfing buddies and uh, Dodger fans to I bet we're among the best that they have.
Mhm.
And you even know the players. You know the players. You know the former general manager uh, on a first name basis, uh, and I tag along.
Hmm.
And
I learned how to approach people from you.
well, I got to tell you this. I saw again yesterday. You're so much better on the podium than I ever hoped to be. No, there's no comparison. You're born to it and love doing it. I had to do it and got by, but you just love doing it, and it's obvious. And I think this role of podcast interviewer is wonderful. I see you're getting write-ups in business journals about it. One, I think yesterday, wasn't
It was
it?
over the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
Spectrum News did a brief interview with me about podcasting, and yeah, that was really really neat.
Yeah. You've raised a family. You've always been family first, and you carried that over into being a dad for four incredible children who are all of them doing just great. and you and Lorianne as a tremendous team. Uh, uh, I saw yesterday at that service the family in action, an incredible family, and you're oh my goodness, you're right in there as a leader, and so loved by them and by me. Um, I don't have enough words. You're a personal friend of the president of Cal State Fullerton, who is a gift to us in this community. Uh, Clearly going away, the best college president uh, probably on the globe.
Yeah, I would agree with
I'll
that.
go out and say that.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody could be better.
No.
He faces a diverse situation there. And I always wonder what in the world could he say and stick to his values and still be their leader and their accepted leader. And when I get through listening, I think there's another stroke of genius that I just had a chance to watch. Well, we're both able to do that, aren't we?
Yeah.
And in your many roles, what do you have now? You're the head of the small business organization at Cal State. You and Orlean have your own business. You're a banker.
That's right. I'm doing loans
What
now.
else are you
Yeah.
doing? The,
Well, the podcast.
and a podcaster. And a
You,
podcaster.
you taught me early on in my life to just do what you love, but love what you do. And I do.
Yeah.
I haven't always, but I made a decision probably about the time I had the Flyers job. I think I made the decision that for the rest of my life, I'm going
Yeah.
to just love what I get to do. So,
Gosh, yes, we didn't even get a chance to cover the Flyers in the interview. Uh,
I think we covered a lot.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
That was a really big one. And I still have my Flyers cap, and it almost matches my bike, by the way.
Nice. Very nice. Well, it's close to the Cal State Fullerton colors too. So that's pretty cool. So,
Yeah. Yep.
well, we could go for another hour. I didn't want to let this time pass without you giving a message to each of the kids, and I'll edit those out and send it to them. And I know that'll be really special, just like
Okay, good.
is as well. So, well, I love you, and I sure feel honored that I got to spend this last hour and a half one-on-one with you. And my plan is to take little edited snippets of this every day and put them up on social media and send them out. And then on Thursday, just to air the interview in its entirety in honor of your birthday. And I'll get the whole thing to you as well.
I had a text from our friend Evie. Actually, it was from Evie and Jeff saying that they can hardly wait to see that interview.
Nice. Yeah. And I talked to Pam the other day as well. And she knows your birthday's coming this week, so don't be surprised if they try to surprise you.
Well, I can hardly wait to see it too, but with the likes of those that have gone before me, it I don't know where you're going to find room in the file for it.
I won't be surprised if more people watch this one than they watch any of the others. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I have a lot of friends who ask me about you all the time, and there's not a friend in the world that I have that doesn't know what the influence on my life you've been and are in my life. So I think people are excited to get to know you better. I know for sure they are.
Ed, you're so special. Is Kevin on the list to get it?
Oh yeah. Oh, everybody will. Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Kevin and Jeff and all my friends and all those that you, Steve Riley, I'm sending it to him as well. And so,
hey, the Steve Riley stories and the Kevin stories where we built that dining room.
Yeah,
the three of us and Stevie Riley. We could have made a program on Stevie Riley.
Absolutely. He is that lifetime friend that will always stick by me and with me. So,
didn't you get a kick out of the one yesterday where they caught John sneaking away from Sunday school?
Yeah, I thought right away of Steve Riley and me. When the first time I heard that story, I thought, oh, that sounds kind of familiar to me.
Yeah. Both of our thoughts went right to Steve Riley on that one.
Yeah, exactly. It was always Steve's fault that I snuck out of Sunday school too. It was never my fault. No.
Oh, of course not.
The bad influence of my friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I never influenced him. So.
Will Stevie get it by any chance?
Yeah. Definitely.
Really? Oh,
Definitely.
good.
Yeah. You want to deliver a message to Steve? Do it now. I'll record it and send it to him.
Sure, I will. Yeah. Hey, hey, Stevie, this is your backup dad.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, it was so hard to lose your own dad, but Ed and I had the joy of dragging you right into our web, and I got to act a little bit as your dad along the way. And so many stories come to mind. I think one of my favorites is I was managing you on a little league team of some sort. You were the catcher, and they had scored, I think, 15 runs, and
I
we're
was the
still at
pitcher, by the
bat.
way. They scored those runs off of me.
Oh, is that
I
right?
think they scored them off of me. Yeah.
And so you threw down your mitt and you yelled something about no more. I'm not going to take it anymore. And I grabbed you by the seat of your uniform and drug you back behind, behind the pitcher. And I don't remember whether it succeeded or not.
Hmm.
From there on, I don't remember what happened. I just remember all that deal. Then I remember the day up at the lake and near Weed. What was the name of the lake? And you and Ed got in a fight, and so you were walking home back to the camp and would not get in the car, and I kept trying to persuade you, and you would not do it. Then you went with us to Canada, remember?
Yeah.
And oh, Stevie, so many stories. Oh my goodness, I couldn't be happier that life has worked out so obviously well for you. Uh, my golly, you're a success and having a lot of fun in the process with your, I guess it's a second home out on the beach coast, is it not? That you built. And I always think I want to go by Steve's again and maybe have a beer with you. Do you still have the tavern? Uh,
I
I
think
don't
he sold
know.
it. I think he sold it.
Did he? Okay. Well, well, we could still find a place
I'm sure there's
and
a
enjoy.
tavern that he knows about.
Yeah, a tavern. I'm sure you know one,
Yeah.
and we could spend hours. I'm sure reminiscing and having fun. Ed and I are both blessed to have had you as a brother and a son during those early years, and I hope they were somewhat formative.
I know for
Love
a
you,
fact they
Steve.
were. He has shared that with me over the years. So, well, I could list names and names and names, and we could go for the whole day. But on we go. So, well, thanks, pops. I'm gonna stop the recording here in a
Okay,
second and just thank you. And I will put this all together and make sure you have it and make sure everybody else gets it. And I think this is neat to get a chance to honor you and to have this recorded for us to have forever.
thanks, Doc. I had a joy being a part of it. Definitely.
Me too. Well, you have a
What's up
great.
the rest of the
I've got a meeting at
day?
11 with a new client, and then 2 o'clock with a client down in Australia on the phone or on Zoom, and then just working here in the office at home the rest of the day.
How do you
So
keep all these things straight in your
I have a great
head?
calendar, and
You have a gift for that. I never had.
well,
I don't have it now.
everything's electronic now, so I just type it into my calendar once, and it pops up and reminds me. So it's like that
Yeah.
electronic secretary. So
Yeah, I guess it's a new world, and
yeah,
if I'd grown up in it, maybe I'd know how to use it, but I don't.
yeah. So
Mm.
alrighty, sir. Well, I will get little sound bites of this off to you probably before the end of the day, and the whole thing to you on your birthday.
Oh, fantastic. That's right. A birthday coming
Yeah,
up.
you got a birthday coming up.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
all
Have a
right,
great day.
pops. All right, you too. I love you.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay,
Love you.
love you too. Bye.
Bye bye.